happened on Friday. A lot of blowouts. Friday, January 5th, 2024. The first game is the Jazz. They were 5-1 before this. They were on a hot streak, but not so much versus the Celtics. Horrible game across the board, and Chris Dunn, who has been playing fairly well, right? 26 minutes here with 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 3 steals, and a block. 25 minutes. He is interesting because in 20 minutes he could get you 1 or 2 steals, 4 or 5 assists, which could be really useful in fantasy category leagues. So always, if you need those categories, just try to stream him. Colin Sexton, I think he's still a hold. Clarkson's coming off the bench, a horrible game. Him and Clarkson, those guys could really go off any game. So if you need points and some assist, you could have those two guys. And their free throws is also not so bad. Lauri Markkanen had a mediocre game. Simone, 25 minutes, yeah. They all should play just really bad. For the Celtics, easy work. Nobody played over 27 minutes. Tatum had probably one of the easiest 30 points, 5 for 8 from 3, 13 for 14 from the free throw line. Jaylen Brown, Porzingis, they all chipped in a little bit. But I was looking at Derek White's stats for the year. He has been absolutely amazing. He's the 15th ranked player. 14th Harden, by the way. So if you drafted Harden third or fourth round, he's giving you great value. But Derek White is 15th ranked player, averaging 1.2 steals and 1.3 blocks, shooting 49% from the field and 90% from the free throw line, 5.2 assists. This is why people are always high on Derek White in category leagues because he can do everything. Super good. Jrue Holiday, not so much. I would say Jrue Holiday has had a pretty disappointing year. And one of the bigger reasons is we know the points and the assists and the 3 going to come down, but can he get the defensive stats to make it up? So far, not really. He's really not getting any steals for whatever reason. The next game, the Pacers dropped 150 points. And this game, I think the over and under is like over 260. I think it actually hit over. They scored 266 points, and the Pacers scored 150. Trae Young, a somewhat bad game. Still had 6 assists and 2 steals. That's fine. 1 for 11 from 3. Dejounte Murray went off. Well, everybody should went off while they only scored 116 points. Jalen Johnson, who's been absolutely amazing since coming back from injury. He is a must roster. He is also ranked crazy good. 37th ranked player. 15 points, 8 rebounds, 1.2 steals and 0.8 blocks, and shooting 58% from the field. He's really, really good. Also in category and points leagues. Absolutely hold him. Bogdanovic struggled, but still had 16 points. Went 1 for 9 from 3. Okongwu and Clint Capella, they're going to split the minutes forever. Maybe something will change next season. But anytime Clint Capella gets injured, Okongwu's stock goes up pretty high. If he gets 30-plus minutes consistently, watch out. For the Pacers, everybody ate this game. Tyrese only had 10 points, but 18 assists. The offense really, they build the offense. I'm not saying Tyrese Halliburton is not good, but with how their spacing goes, he's a great decision maker. But the 18 assists is really. I think a couple other point guard can also do the same just because how this offense is set up, how many points they're generating. The numbers going to look good. In fantasy, we don't worry about that. Obviously, 18 assists is super good. 8 rebounds, 2 steals and block. Amazing stuff. Bruce Brown also came back. I don't think he's a must roster. He just give you a little bit of everything, pretty solid. If he's your worst player, you can always stream him. Miles Turner, big game. 27 points in 22 minutes. Jalen Smith had 11. Actually, he's starting. And Aaron Nesmith. Obi Toppin was starting beginning of the year. Now he comes off the bench. And then look at TJ McConnell. 23 minutes had 10 assists as well. 3 steals. Anytime Tyrese Halliburton is out, TJ always has a good time. Moving on to the next game, the Oklahoma. This is one actually a shocker. Not a shocker. OKC has been playing really well lately, but they lost to Brooklyn. On the road, it happens. Maybe it's a long road trip, whatever. And Chet Holmgren. amazing game again. 1 steal, 1 block, very efficient everywhere. 6 rebounds, 17 points. And Shea, I mean, we don't really need to talk about him. He's still the #1 ranked player. Joel Embiid is second because Joel Embiid is averaging 35 points. Oh my God! But Shea's steal numbers has come down quite a bit, averaging 2.5 now. I think realistically he's going to average close to 2 steals a game, but 2.8 is too crazy. No steals, and for whatever reason he went 10 for 15. One of his worst games in a while, but he will bounce back. Not worry about him at all. And Jalen Williams, lately he's been really good. 8 for 11. And the main thing is his defensive stats are coming back. And if we look at his rankings, well, 66 ranked player. So still in that area. I thought he probably would have gone up, but that's not really the case. 1.1 steals and 0.5 blocks. But I think the steals can go up a little bit more, and also the blocks, and then he'll be a top 50 player pretty easily. Just want to make sure I'm looking at the correct thing. Yeah. Lou Dort could be a streamer, but the big three: Shea, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren. These 3 guys are going to be a beast in fantasy the next however many years, 10 years. These guys are really good. Brooklyn, Great Wayne, Mikal Bridges, somewhat mediocre. 1 block, 17 points. If you drafted this guy in the second round, he's also one of the bigger busts out there this year. Spencer Dinwiddie, 23 points and 3 threes with 4 assists. Dorian Finney-Smith got 21 minutes. Cameron Johnson, who is starting, get some minutes. Okay. But a lot of the bench Nets guys, it's really hard to trust because game to game, Lonnie Walker now is back in the mix, right? One game, Lonnie Walker has a decent game, plays 25, or Cameron Johnson only plays 28. All the wing guys, they are interchangeable. Like one game, Royce O'Neal might get a few extra minutes. I would still hold Cam Thomas. He's coming off the bench now. Still had 19 points and 3 threes. Especially looking for points and threes, I think he's a must roster in category leagues. Moving on to the next game, the Washington Wizards. Oh boy, this is the fun one. Lost to this is no surprise they lost, but look at Jordan Poole. 2 points. Oh, had a block. Okay. Is Jordan Poole ranked inside of 200 this year? He is not. Okay. So in points leagues, I think I don't know how he does, but in category leagues, I would not drop him because he give you points, free throws. Oh, those are hard to find on the waiver wire, right? If the only thing he give you is steals, maybe that's easy. Or the only thing he give you threes. So his value, even though he's across 9 categories, his value is really, really bad. But just the things he offers, it's just really hard. Free throws and points. But if your team doesn't need it, I would wait for a few games, try to trade him to get really anything back for him. But he's gotta be. That's the thing. Like when we talk about bust, sometimes like if the guy plays 2 games out for season, maybe that's not so much. Definitely like Jordan Poole is perfectly healthy. He missed maybe 1 game. It's just whenever he plays, he's been absolutely horrible. This game shows that. I think the game before this, he's also horrible. I would still hold on to him. I wouldn't drop him. And I would try to, if your team doesn't need free throws or points, I would try to trade him. But not right now. I think this is probably his rock bottom. You can't go no lower than that. Maybe he can. Tyus Jones, 16 points. Tyus Jones played all right. And the rookie, Bilo, came in and played 36 minutes. His minutes is still inconsistent. If you look some defensive stats and he's got a back-to-back, you can stream him. But yeah, Kyle Kuzma, 9 points. Yeah, I mean, they all played really bad. Danny Advia. And then Cleveland Cavaliers, yeah, they're a great defensive team. Evan Mobley is going to be out for a long time. So Jared Allen should eat in the meantime. 12 rebounds, 2 steals and a block. Pretty good. Donovan, easy work, 26 points and 5 threes in 25 minutes. And where's Darius Garland? He's also been out. And this Cavaliers team, where are they going to and where are they going? I am not sure. Because they're gonna be in the playoffs, most likely. The 8th, 20 and 15. Yeah, I mean they're gonna make the playoffs. It's just just another first round exit. What's the point of that? You got to be aggressive. Either go big or go home. Just to barely make the playoffs and get bounced every year in the first round is probably not a good strategy for the franchise. Maybe it is. All right, the Knicks. Wow, this is a very impressive win to beat the Sixers on the road with Joel Embiid playing by 20 some. Yeah, this is 36 points. Very impressive stuff by the Knicks. Oh my God, we got a lot of games to go. Okay. They got OG Anunoby. Great. I mean, fantasy-wise, I still think OG should do well because it's about his defensive numbers. And he's going to play huge minutes. Tom Thibodeau is going to give him, so no worries. 11 points, win a steal. He's going to be better. Julius Randle goes 1 for 11, but who cares? They won by 36. But Randle has been really, really good lately. Probably a sell high candidate if you can. Because I feel like it's a lot easier to sell Randle because the counting numbers look so good. It's just the defensive efficiency of the worries. Isaiah Hartenstein, absolutely must roster. He has been unbelievable. He is, on the season, he's still ranked pretty low. 112th ranked player, but oh my God, lately he's been just unbelievable. 8 for 9, 17 points, 6 rebounds. His rebound should go up. This is just a bad game. 5 assists. He gets you assist, right? Maybe Knicks realized that Isaiah Hartenstein is better than Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson is really kind of one-dimensional, right? Well, their record hasn't been that great, actually. But Isaiah Hartenstein is really, really good in fantasy. In real life, at least this game, it says so too, from the plus and minus. Dante DiVincenzo, even though all the guys left, he only got 16. He's not fantasy relevant. And Josh Hart also had a huge game, 15 points. Like, he's a guy we could stream if you just look for a little bit of everything. And Jalen Brunson played really, really good as well. For the Sixers, Joel Embiid only 30 points and 10 rebounds. And he was a minus 29. I am not sure what happened to him this game. 43% from the field, 9 for 12 from the free throw line. Maybe he partied too hard the other night. Really bad game from him. Kelly Oubre. And also, some of these guys, they've been putting up great numbers. And as the season goes on, right, because they've been giving 95% the entire way. So their stat kind of fall off. And then the guys, after the All-Star break, they really turn it on. They start putting out better numbers. Jokic, notoriously, maybe not so this year because he need to, but like a couple of seasons ago, he would just he would take one shot a game. There's some games like that. And then he flipped the switch when they really need to win those games. Tyrese Maxey also amazing, 27 points and put up great numbers. Tobias Harris, I think, exit the game. Who does it really help? I'm not exactly sure. Maybe Batum gets more minutes. Maybe Robert Covington. I would monitor the minutes next game to make a decision to who to stream. Moving on to the next game, the Charlotte Hornets lost to the Bulls, and the Bulls they got some players back. And okay, Nick Richards, I think in the short term, we gotta stream him for some. If you want rebounds, his field goal is kind of bad. Rebound and blocks, right? Any center that played 30 minutes in the NBA every night probably need to be rostered just because the rebounds. He's gonna give you 9 rebounds, gonna give you 1 or 2 blocks. Great efficiency is really useful in category leagues. And Mark Williams has been questionable or doubtful for a long time now. Who knows? Next thing you know, maybe he's out for season. So I would hold Nick Richards for a little while just to see what happens with Mark Williams. If Mark Williams comes back, then he's obviously a drop. And Terry Rozier, I think you got to try to sell high. This game is not the best game, but LaMelo is going to be back. He's not going to be out for season. He's going to be back. And Terry Rozier is going to get a pretty big hit. So try to sell high on him. Miles Bridges, meanwhile, just keep it going. 12 for 18, 28 points. Not much else, but he's been amazing. And Cody Martin, I think, is a guy that we could stream with Gordon Hayward out. He's a great fantasy player. Get you defensive stats, hit some threes, some rebounds, a little bit of everything. And PJ Washington, what's going on with this guy? Why is he only get 2 minutes? Did he get hurt as well? Yeah. He's also questionable. Not so good. I mean, beginning of the season, Miles Bridges wasn't playing, so he was getting a lot of minutes. He can put up numbers. It's just not getting minutes on this team is actually, they got a lot of wings. For the Bulls, great wing. Andre Drummond, I think if you want to hold on to him for one more game, because Vucevic is, I guess, quote unquote, on the minute restriction still. We can't stream him for 1 or 2 games, but he's gonna go back to playing 10 to 15 minutes. He still put up a great number, here: 10 rebounds, 1 steal, and 3 blocks. We know what he can do in fantasy, no problem. And against the bad Charlotte Hornets team, he was a +8. AU Dawson Moon, the minutes is insane. 40 minutes, you could stream him, with all the guys out. Well, even though Zach LaVine came back, finally he's back. If he hasn't put together a few nice games, I'm gonna try to sell him because he knows he wanted out. So like, how hard is he really gonna to compete? Chances are not great. Kobe White, great game, 22 points, 3 threes, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. The problem with him is also shot the ball okay, but the problem is with him is just need more defensive stats. Otherwise, everything else is fine. DeMar DeRozan, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 17 points is also all right. And Vucevic is back, so maybe one more game and he's back, going back to playing 30 minutes. All right, the Wolves, they're the best team in the West. They beat the Rockets, scored 122 points. And Anthony Edwards played okay, 24 points, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 threes. Made his free throws. Rudy, 12 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Cat had a block. Yeah, I mean, Cat is, as long as he's playing the power forward position, he is not going to be a first-round player. He's averaging 0.6 steals this year. Sorry, 0.6 blocks and 0.7 steals. But the counting numbers, rebound dipped a little bit, but by 22 points. Like, he was the first rounder in his rookie year, averaging 18 points and 10 rebounds. But because he's so efficient and, he was getting blocks, so he pretty much regressed in fantasy year over year. Now he's just a top 50 player, which is kind of sad. Jaden McDaniels, you could stream him for defensive stats. The minutes is good, but he doesn't really offer you anything else. 16 points, 7 for 10 here is okay. Mike Conley did his thing, 8 points and 5 assists. Yeah, just okay. And Naz Reid, anytime Cat or Rudy is out, he's a prime guy to stream. Great win for the Wolves. And then for the Rockets, Fred VanVleet has been really good lately. So if you drafted this guy 3rd round, he's giving you that value somewhat. 35th ranked player on the season. But what's so unique about Fred VanVleet in category leagues, what I realize is he is like this. I don't think there's anybody really like him. He give you a lot of assists and steals. This year still not so much, but doesn't turn the ball over that much. 1.8 turnovers. And so you could have a situation, if you get a bunch of these guys, if you win both every week, you can win assists and turnovers. That's absolutely huge. And then 0.6 blocks only this year. Lately, he's been getting a blocks. He can give you 0.7, 0.8 blocks. Nobody really does that unless you freaking Nikola Jokic, right? And then on top of that, he hit a lot of threes. He's not a great field goal guy, but it just, you can build in category leagues. If you have him, you can. If you have another guy like him, you can really do something. Have like a really unique team. Anyway, he's been playing really well. Not so much this game. Okay, 8 assists, a steal, block is okay. Jalen Green, 20 points. I mean, he's just a points and threes guy. Everything else is really, really bad. And I think because right now, Tari Eason has been out. Dylan Brooks has been out. I think when all the guys come back, Jalen Green may not get consistent 30 minutes. Then he's 100% a drop. Once all the guys come back, and actually we'll see how the minutes shake out. Tari Eason didn't play this game, but I would absolutely roster him in category leagues. If you got an IR, I would put him in there. Just 25 minutes of him. He's just an energy guy. He's gonna give you 8 rebounds, 8 rebounds, 2 steals, a block. That's like really good in category leagues. To have a guy like that, just give you those big boosts in those defensive stats. So I would look at him. And Jason Tate, they start him, doesn't do anything. Jabari Smith is okay. They're obviously they're starting Jabari, so they want to develop him more. Okay, and Pruchenko also had a pretty bad game. Well, we know the Wolves, they're a great defensive team. Moving on, the next game is the Clippers. Well, they are rolling at the moment. Is that really surprising? No, it's not. It's not surprising because James Harden only played 29 minutes, 2 for 7, but 13 assists again. Harden is the 14th ranked player. If you got this guy third, don't complain. He's been balling. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George did their thing, and I think for the most part they're all pretty healthy. So that's good stuff. Zubac played 23 minutes. Russell Westbrook, I don't think he's a must roster, but he's still giving you the defensive numbers. He's really locked in on defense, so he's contributing. But just the minutes it's hard to justify it. Roster him. If they're gonna back to back, he's just a streamer at this point, not a much roster. Norman Powell is also okay. Clippers are interesting. They are rolling, and the West is so stacked, man. The West has so much talent, and this Clippers could be a. Right now, they're looking so much better than Phoenix Suns, right? And then obviously you have Denver, and then you have Timberwolves. It'll be interesting. The Timberwolves and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Most likely they're gonna be a top higher seed, and they play a veteran team in the first round. What happens? The Warriors, the Lakers are not looking so good right now. For the Pelicans, and also Pelicans in the mix. CJ did okay. Herbert Jones played just 25 minutes. If you look for defensive stats, I would still hold on to him because Trey Murphy. Oh, okay, this game Trey Murphy came back, but I still think Herbert Jones gets close to 30, and there'll be games he give you 4 steals and 3 blocks, right? You could really use that. Obviously, if that's you're trying to win those defensive stats and you're very solid in the other categories. If that's not your situation, obviously, let someone else have it. Valanciunas, Zion, just very mediocre numbers. And Brandon Ingram, same thing. He played 30 minutes. Just bad game across the board for all these guys. The next game, the Dallas Mavericks, they put... That Mavericks is another team, right? In the playoffs, they could definitely be dangerous because you have Luka, you have Kyrie. I think they have a puncher's chance versus anybody. Because, one of those 2 guys have a really good game, just carrying them through. For the Portland team, Scoot Henderson is interesting. Now he's getting the minutes. If you look for points and assists and threes, you could have him. But he's just hurting you in so many categories. So just know what you're doing. If you have him, also if he's hurting your team, try to trade him, right? Because the things he provides could be useful for someone else in the league. So you can maybe get some value back or do a 2-for-1. Fernie Simons, a bad game, but he's gonna be okay. He's gonna give you a lot of points and assists and threes. Just lack of defensive stats. And they started this guy Duop Reith. He is a must roster until DeAndre Ayton comes back. Disappointing, no blocks, but yeah, I want to roster him until Ayton comes back. What is going on with Ayton? Man, now he's on the bad team. Nobody talks about him, but doesn't look like it's a Monty Williams issue. It's more like a DeAndre Ayton issue. You're the number one pick. You're number one first pick, right? Now going to this team, it's supposed to be a good team. Well, you're supposed to put up some numbers. Jeremy Grant, 18 points, 3 steals in a block, and 2 threes. Pretty good. He just does this every single year. On a bad team, put up some numbers. And without Luka, Kyrie did his thing in 29 minutes, easy work. If you bought low on Kyrie, yeah, on a per game basis, Kyrie's a top 10 player, easy. The problem is can he stay healthy? And I think in the first half of the year, Luka really took over. Maybe run on gas a little bit in the second half. That's when Kyrie, more games, can just put up numbers like this or go for 40 plus. A lot of guys were out actually. Jaden Hardy came in and played great, triple double. Derrick Jones Jr. could be a streamer. Josh Green, Dwight Powell. Yeah. Moving on to the next game, the Miami Heat. Did I miss anything? Yeah, the Miami Heat. They lost to Phoenix. Okay, KD didn't play great. Bradley Beal was playing and healthy, I guess. Heat, really bad game from Tyler Hero, 9 points, 4 for 17. He's gonna be all right. He was a minus 25. Bam, I guess the defensive scheme is to let Bam have it. That seems to be a trend. I think in the playoffs, I remember they're just giving Bam those mid ranges. Just let him do his thing, and not like Jimmy Butler or some of the 3-point shooters go off. I think it was versus Denver. That was one of the strategies. So like Bam would also put up some great numbers, but the 3-point shooters they never really got off, and the Denver just win. Nikola Jovic also came in. Kwame Jaquaz Jr. Also, he's a must roster I think at the moment with all the injuries going on with Jimmy Butler out and stuff. You want to have him. He can really do some damage. And Kyle Lowry, just 20. Look, if you don't need points, in category leagues, there's a couple conditions got to happen, right? If you're looking for assists, you're looking for threes, you're looking for steals, Kyle Lowry can give you all that. And he's an okay free throw shooter too. So if you need those categories, it's fine to have him, in my opinion, in category leagues. For Phoenix Suns, well, Bradley Beal is great. 25, he needs to shut the guys up. People talk about Bradley Beal never stay healthy. And he actually did for a stretch. So let me fact check myself. I think for a 2-year period. Yes. Yep. So 2019 season he played 57 games. Like 57 games is not horrible. I think it's really the last 2 seasons. Last year he played 50 games and the year before he played 40. And there were other factors going on because they were not competitive. But look at 2018 to 19 season. He legitimately played 82 games. And from 2017 to 18, he legitimately played 82 games. So for 2 seasons, he played 82 games. And then from 2016 to 2017, he played 77. So I know people say he gets injured a lot, but I think that's just, I don't know, unlucky. Let's see, can he stay healthy this year? Because, Phoenix Suns, they're a great team. Everybody's going to, you're under scrutiny, really. Devin Booker, 20 points and 10 assists, great stuff. Yusuf Nurkic, just doing his thing. Yusuf Nurkic also having a great year. The minutes is not huge, but he gets you really good rebounds and some steals, some assists, some blocks, just a little bit of everything. Grayson Allen went off. Yeah, he's been playing really, really well. You got to have this guy just right with him. When everybody comes back, he could still start, right? Just be that, give you like points, some points and threes, which the Phoenix Suns really need. And then some player that, focus on playing defense. The next game, the Warriors only beat the Pistons by, well, it was a heartbreaker the day before, but they only beat them by 4 points. It's a lot of red flags with this Warriors team. And CP3 just broke his hand. Draymond Green could be back next week. So they got to start doing something. Kate Cunningham, great. I mean, he's putting up some great numbers. Jaden Ivey, you could have him. He fouled out in 24 minutes. Now they're giving him a lot of minutes. Bogdanovic is the guy that if he has a great stretch, I would really try to trade him. I would really try to. For a guy like that playing that much minutes, it doesn't really make sense on a young team. So at some point, right, maybe they pull the plug. They just don't play him. And then just give Ausar Thompson some minutes, who only have 8. Obviously droppable, but I'll keep my eyes on him. If he ever gets close to 25 minutes a night, then he becomes a roster, 25 to 30. But if you sold high on this guy early on the season, congratulations. Jalen Duren, 6'6", he's a must roster. 2 blocks, 12 rebounds, amazing stuff for him. But the Warriors, Steph Curry, 26 points, an okay game. His assists really dipped this year. And Clay, 19 points. I mean, they barely escaped at home versus the Detroit Pistons. Jonathan Kuminga, the minutes is up. I don't really like him. Kevon Looney, you really only stream him for rebounds. Podziemski, 24 minutes only, right? Oh, okay. So if Draymond Green is on the waiver wire, I would look to maybe pick him up right before he comes back if you want to be a little bit riskier. If you realize, because I feel like Draymond can be useful in category leagues. I know he's old with time off. Maybe he reset his mind. And the Warriors, this year, they're fighting for a playoff spot. So when we get to March, we get to February, right? Those games matter to the Warriors. That's a big factor, I think. Because, like, a couple of situations, right? Like, if you're the Denver Nuggets, which they're not going to be this year, but if you lock down in first seed, you're going to sit your stars. I think last year, Jokic basically sat out a whole week. Just sat out because they locked down the first seed in the West. They just didn't play him, right? So you have that going on. Like, the top teams, they might rest players. the best teams is like fighting for a playoff spot or fighting for seed. They're going all out, and now there's the play-ins tournament. So, I think the Warriors team can do some. The core players, they're going to be great till the end this season. That's just something to think about. Like again, like if you Detroit, right, you have Kate Cunningham. I would get equal value back, or maybe lose a little bit if. But again, depending on the situation. Like if you're a first seed, you're gonna go deeper into the playoffs, 100% or 80%. Then those are some of the things you think about. But if you're just trying to you're just fighting for your life in your league, then those are the things you do not worry about. But just some factors, like for example, the Spurs, right? If you have Victor Wembanyama, he's already on minutes restriction, and as we get to the end of the season, he's gonna miss all the back-to-backs. They may just not play any. They have absolutely nothing to play for, and that's the problem with Oklahoma City Thunder for a little while too. Obviously, they're great. That's why people didn't want to draft Shea. Just a little bit history. Like last year in one of the leagues, I drafted Shea in 44th, fourth round. You might say, why is Shea getting drafted so late? Because the year before and the year before that, I think they just shut down Shea, went like deeper into the playoffs. He got a little bit hurt. They just shut him down. So like last year, if you drafted Shea, you probably the first or second in your league, because he was putting up top 3 numbers, and you draft a guy in the 4th round like that. Yeah. All right. Well, Lakers not looking so great right now. The Lakers lost to the Grizzlies 127-113. Marcus Smart went off 29 points. Great, 8 threes. Marcus Smart is a must roster. I know he struggled a little bit last game, but yeah, I think he's a must roster regardless. Ja Morant, great, 27. If he held on to Ja, he's giving you great numbers. Desmond Bane did his thing, had 13 assists. Wow. Baseman Biyombo, he's just a streamer for blocks. And Jaren Jackson Jr. also. Well, the Grizzlies, they're clicking. They could be dangerous, right? But they have a lot of catch up to do, and the West is super competitive. For the Lakers, they are going straight down. AD did his thing, 31 points. And now I'll be worried if the Lakers start losing, if they can't even beat the 10th seed. Just the way how things are going right now. If I own LeBron, if I own AD, I would really be really, really worried. Because if they are like 5 games out of the 10th seed with 10 games left, if you go deeper into the playoff, AD has been great this year. Another thing to think about. Are they going to play him? Austin Reeves, Taurean Prince, but obviously, if you're just fighting for your life, you don't worry about any of those things. It's only if you're going to go deep into the playoffs. Because those things only happen deep in the playoffs, maybe finals, depending on your league format. Cam Reddish played okay. I mean, not really exciting, all these Laker guys. Moving on to the last game of the night, high scoring game again, 130, 135. The scores are just crazy. So fantasy, they all look good. Scotty Baum's amazing game, 20 points, 6 assists, 4 threes. Scotty took the biggest leap this year. Amazing stuff. Emmanuel Quickly, would you look at that? Dennis Schroeder, you still hold on to him. He's still got 32 minutes. But Emmanuel Quickly is going to be a beast. They are starting him. They're giving him all the minutes. 20 points, 8 assists, 4 threes. He's not a guy that gets you a lot of defensive stats, but he's a great free throw shooter, hits a lot of threes, gonna give you really good points and assists. He's gonna be big second half of the season. Jacob Poeltl, 3 blocks, 14 points. Pascal Siakam did okay, and they're starting RJ. RJ is not that exciting. I don't think he's a must roster on this new team. Well, the Kings, they put up 135 points. And they started to twist Awate because Kevin Huerter was out. De'Aaron Fox also pretty good, 2 steals and block, 4 assists, 24 points. Sabonis, these 2 guys, they just put up numbers, 9 in and 9 out. Keegan Murray did not miss a 3, 12 rebounds. Great win for the Kings. And Kings also, they're a young team. They're also in the mix. Right? They're the 5th seed in the West. Oh my God, the West is actually a bloodbath. The Grizzlies are catching up. They are right now 5 games out of the 10th seed. They still have the season left. I think if they got lucky, right, and then the Rockets or the Warriors or the Lakers, they go on a bad run, they can totally do it. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow.